We are having major developments here in Canada. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David, and today's top stories, we've got a huge swarm of people outside of Justin Trudeau's office after the Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar was taken out. Palestinian supporters in Canada have taken to Justin Trudeau. We also got a bunch of other stories here. Currently the BC election is still being counted as I'm filming this. It is neck and neck down to literal votes. Single solitary votes, 10 votes, 15 votes. It is crazy. We got a bunch of other stories here too, so let's jump into this. First up, we'll start with Captain Schmuck himself, Justin Trudeau, posting a thing here saying happy birthday to his son today. This little guy turned 17, he's much taller than me. Where did the time go? Blah, blah, blah. Justin Trudeau, stop using your kid as a shield. Like, come on, get real, man. You got Justin Trudeau's alter ego saying, today this little guy turned 17, much taller than me, where did time go? And today I will use him as a political prop and try to change my image with Canadians. Hope this works. If you look in the comments, there's a bunch of people saying the same thing. Stop using your kid as a political prop. Next up, we got this. Calgary has been completely overrun with Indians. So we have a situation here, I believe it was a couple days ago, where there's just too many people showed up at once and they sent over a few transit buses, but it was going to take a few minutes for the buses to show up, and people swarmed the buses much like you would see in India.
Look at that. This is beyond insane. Look at that. People are actually pushing each other onto the bus, screaming.
So in Canada, we do single file lines. We don't do this crazy stuff. I don't know. Can confirm, and Edmonton too. Canadian cities are that bad. Next up, we got this here. This is pretty funny. So we've got Christy Freeland. Watch how she moves in this video. It's absolutely absurd.
The well-being and success of our province's most...
Okay, so we know Twitchy here is always doing weird stuff, but this one, she's especially bad. Like she's so fidgety, she can't stop moving. What is going on with this woman?
We see the positive impact every day. Students who are more engaged, attentive, and ready to learn.
She's staring now at Jenna Suds. Now she's looking awkward, like, why are you staring at me?
But for many families in our community, access to healthy food can be a challenge.
Now she looks like she's sniffing an egg fart.
This is why today's announcement is so important. Nutritious meals and snacks throughout the school day, which is essential for both their academic success and overall well-being.
Okay, so she keeps doing this. I don't know what's wrong with Freeland. She's been doing this for a while, but this is getting worse. The moment he thinks the federal government, the Demon Insider, made an appearance. Very twitchy. Someone needs to have her piss test. So most of these comments I can't read. Next up, we got this example here. It's the perfect example of horribly corrupt CBC reporting.
What I found interesting is the initial reaction of the Conservatives saying the Prime Minister is lying. One, he's under oath, but even if you don't believe that, Justice...
Please, under oath. Trudeau doesn't give a crap about under oath.
Ugg, who presides over this commission, has had access to almost as many unredacted documents as the Prime Minister. So she, in the end, will be the person deciding whether there is a serious mistake on the part of a party leader that doesn't want to know the lay of the land within his own party, not Justin Trudeau. But if she thought that the Prime Minister was using her commission to lie and smear a political party, I think we would have had some hints of that in our questioning of the Prime Minister. And
the CBC doing what they do best, trying their best to help Justin. It's not working. Next up, we got this one from Harrison Faulkner talking about how many members of parliament we have that are born outside of Canada.
But Canada is starting to have a bit of a problem with the sheer amount of foreign-born politicians sitting in parliament. The numbers are truly insane. In Trudeau's cabinet alone, there are currently 8 foreign-born cabinet ministers. Before Pablo Rodriguez resigned from cabinet, there were 9 foreign cabinet ministers. 9 foreigners sitting in cabinet. Now, it really should not be controversial to say that cabinet ministers should all be born in Canada. I personally would make a specific carve-out for the United Kingdom and Australia because we are inextricably tied to a brotherhood of nations. We share the same head of state, we share the same culture, the same attitude, the same language, and the same religion. But otherwise, I don't think we should be taking the risk of having foreigners at the cabinet table. Just look at Trudeau's cabinet alone. Not his backbench MPs, many of whom are foreign-born, just his cabinet. Gary Anandasangari, the Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations, was born in Sri Lanka. Ahmed Hassan, the Minister of International Development, was born in Somalia. Kamal Kira, the Minister of Diversity, was born in India. Soraya Martinez Farada, the Minister of Tourism in Canada, was born in Chile. Mary Ng, the Minister of Export Promotion, was born in Hong Kong. Harjit Sajjan, now the Minister of Emergency Preparedness, born in India. The Minister of Small Business, Rechi Valdez, was born in Zambia. And Canada's Attorney General, Arif Virani, was born in Uganda. Why do we need to have foreign-born politicians sit at the cabinet table? What is the benefit that it brings to Canada?
Canada is a diverse nation and a melting pot in a similar league as the United States. It's their strength and blessing to have Canadians that bring the best around the world. I mean, there's some back and forth reactions to this. What do you guys think about this? On a lighter note, Trudeau's allegedly himself Cuban. Next up, we got Jagmeet Singh's brother. Listen to what he has to say here on India.
There are elements in Canada directed by the Indian government that target and harass, attack, extort the Canadians. And it's really problematic, but at least this issue is now coming to the forefront.
Jagmeet's brother is really just like Jagmeet, supporting these guys. Look who it is. Now, this isn't in Canada. This is, where is this, in Auckland? Heading towards the consulate in Auckland. So a bunch of Palestinian movement people here. This is what they do. They like to bring their giant yellow flags and drive around, I guess. So this problem isn't just in Canada. So next up, we've got some news here. So this guy is the leader of Hamas, was the leader of Hamas. He is no longer with us because he was taken out. And because he was taken out, now the bunch of the Sami Doon Hamas Hezbollah supporters in Canada are going after Justin Trudeau and quite literally surrounding his office. So that's what we got here today. We're talking a massive protest.
Personal space.
Israel has no right to defend itself. Israel should never even have rights to begin with. But you know who does, and you know who should? It's our resistance in Gaza and the West Bank and Yemen and Lebanon and Iraq.
Yeah, guys, you're not allowed to group together. Did someone read them the rule book here? These people need to be cleared. People in Montreal applaud for bullcrap. Good to know. So we got more clips here from the major protest around Trudeau's office.
All the Zionists around us, one more time. They claim they are indigenous, but they all came from Europe. Leave Palestine alone, leave Palestine alone, leave Palestine alone, then go back to Europe.
The intelligence of these people is just baffling. We're one step behind the UK. Peaceful with army pants, huh? Yeah.
Many years, Israel has claimed for their ongoing plan and great plan where they want and they advocate for peace. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned these hypocrites where they advocate for peace, but they want a piece of Gaza, they want a piece of Palestine, they want a piece of Lebanon, they want a piece of Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, every single country that we know.
Had enough yet, Canucks? I am thinking the same thing. This stuff's got to end. I can't read any more of the comments on this one because they're too far gone. Next up, we got some more pterodactyls here going through the streets. And I should note, a couple people made some comments about why I use that word, especially as well as saying pew-pews for that other device people use. It's because, let me break this down real quick. So YouTube has a system in the background. They don't tell people how it works, but I figured it out. Say if you have a rating between 1 and 100 for your channel, if you have a rating of 80 or higher when you upload a video, then you can just tell the video what is in it and they trust you. If it's below 80, then the robot scans your video, and the lower your rating is, if it's down by 0, then more than likely you will not be able to put that video online unless someone at YouTube actually reviews your video, which can take 4 or 5 days. And since this is a daily show, that would not work out. So if I just use the word pterodactyl, then I can put my video online versus waiting 5 days. Over time, your channel gains trust and eventually you can get up into that higher realm. I think my channel is about 75 right now, so it's pretty close to getting to that upper spectrum, which point I would be able to use the proper words instead of saying pew pew or pterodactyl. So I understand it sounds goofy. I have to work within the system. So next up, this woman here absolutely destroys these guys. I love seeing Canadian patriots coming out.
I'm documenting the Simor died. He's dead.
From the sea to the river.
So I think we're all tired of the river to the sea and all that stuff. What's interesting is some of these guys actually aren't wearing masks now, but most of them still are covered up. You gotta wonder who's funding this. Look how many flags are, pristine new flags, these sound systems, these, you know, all the scaffolding and all this. You know, often they have trucks and vehicles and all sorts of things. Like, this is a lot of money put into all of this. Not, these people aren't just going out and buying these flags themselves. I doubt it. A lot of them too, I mean, not this guy, but a lot of the Palestinians or the Samidoun people here, they have big, fancy Sony cameras. There's lots of money here. Let's not...
In morning, your leader's dead.
We make it very clear. We have nothing to hide. As Palestinians,
You're hiding your faces.
As
You have lots to hide.
With our
That's so funny. It's so true. These guys are all cowards. They just hide behind their masks during, well, protesting. Like, come on.
Hiding your faces.
when we say the Holy Land, we are talking about the land.
If you want to go to the Holy Land, then go there. It's not here. Please. Like... These people like to take advantage of our Canadian hospitality and our healthcare system and all our country, but then they keep barking about this. Go home and fight. Fight for what you care about. It's not on our streets. Stop pestering the crap out of Canadians.
From the river to the sea.
Never be free.
Everyone around us.
She's got some guts doing that. And this nonsense went on even to the far night. This is just as the sun's going down. And as Right Blend says here, who's paying for all these flags, drums, speakers, equipment, etc.? Yeah, like there's a lot of money here. Our tax dollars, that's who. And one other thing to note about the YouTube system and the ranking. So next up, we got this one in Montreal. They're shutting down roads. More of this public prayer crap. I think it's fair if an ambulance has to go through and it can't, then these people can all be liable for being sued. Because streets are not what this is for. Nobody is paying for our streets so people can come here and prey on them. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the police need to get in there. They don't have mosques or reason, question mark? Yeah. Display of power. Any other group would not get away with this behavior. Next up, we have Raquel Dano going scorched earth on Trudeau.
Same Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, for 9 years. So what does that say about his leadership or lack thereof? And I would also point out that the person in this country most responsible for foreign interference and preventing it and keeping national security safe is the Prime Minister of Canada. And so if we've had the same Prime Minister of Canada, and now this has come to such a point that 13 individuals, the RCMP had to announce 13 individuals are in peril because foreign interference has gotten so bad, what does that really say about his leadership? So what's interesting to me is that in the foreign interference inquiry, which he's made a farce of with his recent partisan attacks, that he's really trying to do two things. Number one, distract from his failed record to prevent foreign interference in this country. The fact that he's created an environment that's worse than ever at any time in Canadian history of foreign interference, that other foreign adversaries and others feel that we are a weak country, that they can bully under Prime Minister Trudeau's so-called leadership. And the second thing, of course, Mr. Chair, is that the Prime Minister is trying to distract from the fact that he has an ongoing revolt in his caucus looking to overthrow him. So it's no wonder why he's doing this, but certainly if he continues, as my colleague said, to weaponize this, then he should release the names, because Canadians deserve to know who it is in Parliament right now or in the past who has been undermining the national interest on purpose to aid a foreign country. They absolutely deserve to know that, and those individuals need to be held accountable. And I would also say that it's interesting that he won't do so, and I wonder why that is. Well, perhaps it's because out of any party, it makes the Liberal Party look bad. Again, he was the one who denied that there was election interference from China, for example. He's the one who denied there was any issue here at all, and yet here we are. So he continues to deny that there's any issue there, but I would suspect that's why he's not releasing the name. So I think we could put this to bed. It's rapidly devolving into some McCarthy witch hunt as a result of the Prime Minister's actions, and I think we can easily clear this up today by releasing the names. Canadians deserve to know, and the Prime Minister should be showing leadership in this regard and ensuring that he's actually taking action on this intelligence. And I would say in the last thing, Mr. Chair, that it's not clear why we're taking intelligence if we're not able to utilize it to ensure that these individuals are held accountable. And if they're semi-witting or unwittingly knowing, then they should know, and they should be informed. And so I think it is imperative that Parliament learn who these people are, if any, and move forward with that information. And Mr. Chair, I'd also say that, again, the responsibility for national security lies with the Prime Minister. The only reason we are here is because he's failed to protect that, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Yeah, this is well said.
Same.
It's time to release the names. We need to know who these people are. How can we even go into election without knowing? Extremely well said with no historics or theater, just facts, ma'am. Jumping over to my group, let's check out some memes. Your opinion is more monitored than our borders. We got this BC election live stream. I guess a bunch of you were asking for me to join pleb on there. Sorry, I was out, but I am paying attention to the results here. They're still coming in as I record this. You can try to vote your way out of this disaster, but they own your governments. They penetrate the cabinet. We penetrate the liberal logic. If we don't have a carbon tax, you won't get a rebate check. For you, David. Yeah, exactly. That's what we need to go into House of Commons, clear things up, scare a few of the liberals out of there. I spent $40 million fighting veterans in court, but paid a convicted pterodactyl $10.5 million to avoid court costs. Must find a way to blame Harper. Interesting turn of events here with the leader of Hamas going down and all those supporters going nuclear around Trudeau's office there. Stay tuned for the update here on the BC election. As the final results come in, I'll have another video detailing that. But I did share a short recently where it showed there was 2 ridings with 5,910 votes each, both for Conservatives and NDP, quite literally tied at 5,910 votes. That is how close this thing is. So every vote really does count. It would send a huge signal across the country to Justin Trudeau, everyone, if BC Conservatives out of nowhere came together in just over a year and beat the NDP in British Columbia. The key question is, what's going to happen on Monday in the House of Commons? With all the stuff that's going on today surrounding Trudeau's office, all the stuff in India, Pierre Poilievre is going to have more than enough ammo to absolutely annihilate Justin Trudeau.